Previously on Search4Hurt, Matt Murphy headed over to the West Coast, where he met up with two-time IBO Cruiserweight World Champion, Danny Green. Matt definitely pushed his body to the limits in Danny's intense pad work and strength and conditioning sessions.
He's enjoying it, can't you?
Matt was on the edge, reaching a record Search4Hurt heart rate of 192 beats per minute. But the hurt didn't end there. And when Matt found the courage to go toe-to-toe with Australia's living legend, he experienced the kind of pressure a boxer faces when under fatigue. Danny continually found the sweet spot of Matt's liver, and Matt repeatedly found a new level of hurt.
That's spicy.
But Matt's Perth adventure is far from over, as he attempts to back up the next morning with another group of world champions. Let's see how Matt goes, training with athletes that are the best in their sport. More than ever, this truly is Search4Hurt.
When you think of great Australian sporting teams, many names come to mind. But one of the greatest in recent times is one that might not be on your radar. Today, I'm here in Perth to find out what it takes to be a world champion.
To be a champion, you must sacrifice. You must work hard every day. You must thrive on the challenge, embrace the pain, and overcome the hurt. Because if you don't, your rival will. To be a champion in any division is to have the greatest desire and determination to win. To be a world champion is something truly special. The Kookaburras are the Australian men's national field hockey team and the nation's most successful top-level sporting side. Out of any Olympic sport, the Kookaburras are the only team to receive medals at each of the last 6 Summer Olympic Games. Field hockey is played on an artificial turf with 2 teams consisting of 11 players and 7 subs. Field players must only touch the ball with their stick. There's no offside rule, and the aim is to outscore your opponent. In 2010, the Kookaburras beat Germany 2-1 to win the Hockey World Cup. Then, in a show of force, they retained the title of World Champions in 2014 with a 6-1 demolition of the Netherlands. Simply put, these athletes are undeniably the best at what they do. Matt Murphy will have to dig deep, training in the presence of these champions.
I've started my Perth trip with an intense sparring session with Danny Green. And I've woken up with a sharp pain in my liver area, but it's not enough to hold me back. I've headed out to Perth's Curtin University and Training Centre for the Kookaburras, where I meet up with world champion Tim Deven and strength and conditioning coach Brendan Appleby. So what's the first part of today's, I guess, 3 to 4 part components of today's workouts?
Well, the first part will be just a simple bit for you. We'll just do a 1.5k time trial around the pitch here.
A 1.5 kilometre time trial is my kind of workout. It's also my opportunity to shine with what I'm expecting to be a largely skills-based day of training.
I'm sure it's something that you'll take in your stride very easily, and hopefully Devo can keep up with you.
There are a few reasons why a strength and conditioning coach would implement such a session for a field hockey player. And the number one reason is you have to be fit. A field hockey player can cover up to 9 kilometres in a single game. And when you add to that the upper body effort required when shooting, passing or blocking, it is clear to see that it requires an elite level of fitness to be competitive.
The Cookers are fit. I think you'll find as we go into the next couple of drills that we'll do, that it's been able to maintain that high level of fitness in different movement patterns, and then with some skill, with a fair degree of skill. So I think you'll eat this bit up and then it'd be good to see how you go.
So it's
after.
pretty much a progression through the day of working out
Yeah.
of raw heart rate,
Yep.
heart rate over skill, heart rate over more skill.
Yes.
And Tim's progression is going to be like this, and my progression is going to be like that.
That's what we're hoping.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't like to make excuses, but I'd be lying if I said I was feeling fresh this morning.
3, 2, 1, go. There's 2 minutes.
As we make our way around the second lap of the oval, the gap between Tim and myself grows and grows. The higher my heart rate gets and the deeper I breathe, the more I'm reminded of the pain that's in my liver. It's starting to throb and it's showing no signs of going away.
Running.
Back-to-back hurt sessions might not be the best idea. So, if I was going to have any advantage, it was in a straight run.
That was it, yeah, that was it.
I'm in trouble now. Tim, mate, please tell me they picked the fastest guy
Oh, man.
to do that. Mate, that was impressive. So that's flat out effort that you got me. Now we need to add in dynamics, which will have me even more, and then skill development.
Fingers crossed. If I don't have you there, then I think I'll quit.
Coming up after the break, Tim and Brendan take Matt to the field and put him through a technically challenging skill session.
I'm in Perth, where we're training with the world champion field hockey team, the Kookaburras. I've just been put through a 1.5 kilometre time trial, and you could say my results were less than impressive. Now it's time to head to the field, and we can see what I can do with a stick in my hand. I'm not expecting much from myself in this session, as I know very little about the skills required.
The thing that makes these guys so good is being able to keep that level of fitness while stopping and starting and changing direction and things like that. So we've got a little circuit in here that involves a mixture of straight line running, sprinting, jogging, change your direction backwards and forwards, and then we'll go into part 3 using the circuit as well.
Brendan has set up a circuit that involves a series of short sprints, sudden stops, lunges and turns. After a disappointing time trial, I'm really keen to go hard and impress where I can.
Ready, set, go. That's it, side to side. Okay, then from here you get to walk, Turn and sprint. Sprint, 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 sprint. Gotta stop. That's it, over into the side.
I can understand how the combination of short sprints and sharp turns would be beneficial in conditioning a player.
Which way? Off you go. Turn and sprint out to this red, then turn the corner, and then you can walk there, white.
At the last cone, we turn around and do the entire circuit again in reverse.
Walk out. So you stop, start. There you can jog. Get to here, turn and sprint. Go. Sprint, sprint, sprint. Turn the corner, keep the fast run.
Having to do this while also dribbling a hockey ball seems well beyond my means.
Side. That's it. You finish off with a sprint at the end of this.
Yep.
Okay, and then sprint through. Sprint, sprint, sprint all the way through to the white.
I'm done, and now it's Tim's turn. So I did it 137. Heart rate was 173. Now it's Tim's turn, so he's got to do 127 or better. But I'm going to be watching like a hawk on those recovery jogs. All right?
Set.
Yeah.
Side to side.
Before he's even finished the first sprint, I can tell he's got it over me.
Side.
I'm in trouble. He's fast.
To the front, to the back. Turn and go, turn and go, go, go. Turn there. Yeah. Sprint, sprint, all the way through to the white.
Tim came in much quicker than me, and it was so impressive to watch. Now it's time to attempt it with a skills component.
Okay, so we'll do part 3 now, which is essentially the circuit we just did with some skill. So what we're trying to do today is progress between, the straight line stuff to the movement stuff, and now try and have the same high level of fitness work output with the ball.
So, stage 3 requires me to use this. This is actually Tim's brand of hockey stick. It's also one of the first times that I've ever held a hockey stick. So fingers crossed, I think it's going to need to be more like a magic wand for me to be able to pull this off.
When you're ready, Devo.
Devo is off the blocks like lightning.
Take it around.
His dribbling is world class.
Oh no, I have to edit this.
He has a slight stumble, but even his recovery is magic to watch.
There he goes. Walk. Guess he's popping it in. Stop. Okay, now over to the diamond.
I can't even keep up with his movements, and I'm only watching. Far out. This is going to be really tough. Just the speed that he goes through is insane. This is going to be a bit of a joke on my behalf.
Okay, keep going. Hold that, Guesty. Get the trap. Jog. Sprint finish. Hit him, Guesty, hit him.
Time, 2:15, Devo crosses the line. It was awe-inspiring to see such an exhibition of skill. But it's also a tough act to follow.
Yeah, nice.
First strike of the ball, and I'm off on a good pace.
Okay, take this around the cones,
I get to my first set of cones, and the first dynamic movement with a stick and a ball.
Around the cones, yep.
The quick pace that I set out at has now become a snail's pace.
No.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a good chance this could take all day. Just attempting it makes me appreciate the hard work and talent that these athletes possess.
Yeah, just give it back.
I managed to trap and offload the ball, and for the first time, escape without looking like an amateur. I run it home and check my heart rate. So, first round, no ball, 173.
Yep.
Ball then 176.
Yep.
Like,
And it took you an extra, minute and a bit.
I thought I was actually in all right shape coming up to here, and then once the heart rate jacks up, I just can't process all the thoughts. It's just like, right, my legs, where are they going? Where's my hand going? Like, can I hit it back? No, I'm hitting the turf every time I went to hit it.
Yep.
That's right, you did. Give you 6 months and you're in the town.
Yeah.
I've been training with Australia's men's field hockey team, the Kookaburras. The day's sessions have given me a good mix of flat-out conditioning and skills-based circuits. I took the opportunity to sit down with Tim and Brendan to talk about the progressiveness of men's field hockey. Have you seen a lot of changes in the game that you've had to adapt to?
Yeah, definitely. I think hockey's one of the few sports where they're constantly looking to change and innovate the rules. And I think since I started, there was offside. That was probably the biggest thing they took out, and then since then there have been a lot of other minor rule modifications. And even this year they've changed 2 rules. They've gone from 2 halves to 4 quarters. So every year there's normally one small or big rule change, which is good. It makes it exciting.
Well, bouncing off you, Brendan, I guess as the strength and conditioning coach, as soon as you go from 2 halves, I guess the intensity of the game changes to 4 quarters because you've got a load more rest period in that. How has, I guess, that affected not only the game, but, I guess your coaching methodology?
Well, it puts a lot more emphasis on speed in the game, and then a lot more emphasis on recovery after and in between matches. I mean, the thing about the hockey games is it's a tournament setting, so the guys have to back up multiple games within a short period of time and then be at their best right at the end when they're feeling like their worst. So big emphasis on keeping speed in the training sessions, speed in the drills, but that comes at a cost of having to have good recovery programs around that as well.
I guess because hockey is such a high-skill sport, their conditioning training is done with a stick and a ball rather than just going bashing Ks out running.
Yeah, exactly. And you could see the difference yourself when you did the circuit, and then we put the stick in your hand, how much that changed everything. And your skills can deteriorate when you're fatigued. So it's important, not just yours.
Yeah.
But so it's important that you're practicing when you're fatigued, because the stick will feel differently. Your arms are heavier, your body didn't move quite as well, you have to adjust. So there's an element of running fitness, and then there's a big emphasis on hockey specific fitness as well.
How often are you guys training? Like, what's a regular week look like that wouldn't be a deload week, obviously recovering from from an Asian tournament or an Indian tournament? What's a regular, pretty decent volume week look like?
Well, there'll be three main sessions, practice match, 2 individual sessions, and 2 strength sessions.
Per week?
Yeah.
In 2014, the Kookaburras attended the World Cup hosted by the Netherlands. As reigning world champions, they made it all the way to the final, scoring 24 goals and conceding only 2. 13 minutes into the first half, the Dutch went 1-0 up, which seemed to wake the giant and usher in a complete demolition.
It's underway. Australia sling it out. It's Sorello with a low flip. And
They went on to win 6-1, which was a record in any World Cup final.
Sorello keeps it low and scores. Scotland beaten.
As if this isn't impressive enough, Brendan goes on to tell me that these athletes are not professionally paid. They have commitments outside of sport, like work and study.
I don't know, see, one of the unique aspects of this program is you've got to fit that in around school, study and work. You've got to be careful with the distinction, because these guys aren't professionally paid, but they still perform a professional training environment. So, the training sessions will be. Today's was a 2-hour long session. Then there was a recovery post that, and then there was a meeting. But it started at 7, so that some guys could go to work and uni and all that sort of stuff. So that's one of the demands of trying to fit in what you might find in any other training environment around those sorts of limitations.
The Kookaburras are a city-based national team, which means you must live in Perth to be willing to take part in the program.
Having the centralised programs, one of the reasons that we've been so successful. A lot of other countries don't do it because it's harder, but you do get that day in, day out toughness and playing against the best and training against the best, and everyone's competing for spots, so you're constantly working hard and being pushed to your limits.
After the break, Matt takes up the challenge of attempting to survive a hailstorm of Kookaburras shots on goal.
The sun is setting over Curtin University, and the day of training with the Kookaburras is coming to an end. But as with any Search4Hurt adventure, I have been offered a challenge. If the gear required for this challenge is any indicator of how tough it's going to be, I'm in for a rough time. Today, I'm stationed in the goalmouth, where I'm about to try to save an onslaught of world champion shots. And these boys, they can hit them hard. Some shots can even travel up over 130 kilometers an hour. 100-gram ball traveling directly at you at those sorts of speeds is very intimidating, let alone when you're carrying an injury. Goalkeeper Andrew Charter takes me through the arduous process of putting on the many layers of armour. So, after we get the kit on, you said it takes a little while, yeah?
Yeah, if you're not experienced at it, and you don't have any help, it would probably take you a good 10 minutes.
Okay. So where do we start? What do we got to do?
So we're going to start with the bottom half down. So we're going to start with the box, arguably the most important part.
Andrew walks me through the protective equipment that is needed for my lower body, including the box, thigh protectors, leg guards, and kickers.
2 buckles around the back.
But I'm more concerned about what's going to protect me up top. What are we doing for the top half?
So next we've got our chest plates.
Yep.
So
I'm hoping these are thick, mate. I'm hoping they're very thick.
Let's say it still hurts a lot if you get hit.
Not exactly what I want to hear after the couple of days I've just had.
Next are your arm guards.
Yep.
So, this one's and then helmet and gloves. I don't know if you want to put those on now or if you want to wait till you get over to the goal.
Guess we can get a feel for it. We can see what happens.
Yeah.
It might sound stupid, but it doesn't feel like I've got a lot on.
We'll see how you go.
Yeah, the way you're laughing, it's not good. As I slowly and reluctantly make my way to the goals, I'm getting hotter and hotter, and the equipment seems to feel heavier and heavier. Earlier, Brendan told me how deceivingly hard goalkeepers work.
You know, every position is striving to make training harder than the game, and I think they're a position in particular that we can do that quite easily. You know, today's training session had the small-sided games. The ball was never really out of danger for them. So even though they don't look like they're moving and working hard like the field players are running around, they are constantly repositioning. And they don't have to move far, but they have to move incredibly quickly. So they need to be ready at every possible opportunity.
To be honest, I'm not feeling ready at all. All right, Tim, so I'm fully kitted up. What's the story?
So we've just got a few of the Kookaburras boys down here, and we're just going to basically run through some shots, and hopefully you can save a few.
Devo says that if I can save 2 shots out of 20, he'll be impressed. If I save 2, all up, far out.
And don't die.
Don't die.
Yeah.
I heard
we said we'll give them a little special prize if they get you in a helmet. So.
Yeah, beautiful. That's brilliant. All right, let's get it on. I get some vital last tips from Andrew.
Main one, keep your hands up. So anything coming at your head or around your body, you'll naturally react to. You know? So hopefully it keeps you safe.
And have faith in the gear.
Have faith in the gear. It's pretty good. So good luck, mate.
Thanks, man. And one by one, they line up to have a shot at my head. Oh, yeah! Left and right, the balls are flying past me into the net. Oh, yeah! After a few shots, I gain my composure and make my first save. The heat and clunkiness of the gear feels very restrictive. I have sweat pouring into my eyes. Powerful shot, straight down the middle, and the camera in front of me bites the dust. I make another save, and then another. In total, I saved 3 shots, which I couldn't be happier about. It was a great way to wrap up my day. Well, gentlemen, that was good. Very nice. Thanks, mate. That was good. The fastest shot that was fired at me was 138 kilometres per hour. And with that, my day with the Kookaburras and my time in Perth has come to an end. I love it. I've done back-to-back Search4Hurt sessions for the first time. I've gained an appreciation for a technical sport that would challenge the fitness levels of any elite sportsman. And although I have a slight issue with my ribs, I've made it through a day with the world's best. To be in the company of athletes who have the will and desire to be the best is a real privilege. And another reason why I love my job.